Aloha and welcome to MoonDaze here on New Paradigm Healing Academy Facebook group live and later to be seen and archived up on my YouTube channel at Akashic Astrologer. I am Michelle Jericho Poplar of Queen Mabsy LLC. Aloha, I'm here to tell you about the astrology for this week from Moon Day Monday to the next Monday. I am here for your questions. So just as I did my intro, I will go onto the Facebook group here and do a little bit of hello. I will put my website, www.queenmabsy.com, in the comments below. If you would like to book a reading with me, it is as easy as going to my site and doing the thing. Happy to serve you in the sense of helping. Oh, there we go. There we go. And then I gotta reply. Alright, there we go. I did the thing. Welcome. Welcome. So, we are now in the midst of wrapping up our transit of the sun, the soul sun, through the astrological sign of Taurus in Western tropical astrology, which is what I presently practice. So true sky and sidereal and Vedic astrology are different modality that I do not currently forecast with, as I am working with the dimensions that we are presently stuck in, that we're moving out of. We perceive that we're stuck, but we are in fact not, because everything is constantly spiraling and in motion. The zodiac, as it's read in most of your typical newspaper horoscopes, is based off of Western tropical astrology. And you see, the true sky has changed since that practice was used. So the things that we read in the chart don't always reflect with where the planets are positioned when you use your two eyes to look at it in the sky with telescopes. Ooh, bird. Anyway, since we are in the precipice of a new paradigm and we're moving into that, my practice has been primarily working with the system that is known as in Western tropical astrology, that is popular, mastering that, and then moving on to more authentic and galactic true sky work. I work with those modalities with clients specifically who are at that level of consciousness and understanding, who need that next level up. But primarily, we're still working on this transition, which is going to happen over the next 7 years while Uranus transits through Gemini. It also takes 7 years to master a new skill. So for me to be doing forecasts in that modality, it will be as I study it and feel more confident in delivering in that realm, because what that involves is being more aware with the two eyes in the skies, right? So what we look at out there, up there, I hypothesize, is truly not looking out, but I feel that I am looking within, that I'm getting an opportunity to absorb my programming from a galactic perspective, knowing that I might be small in a big, big universe, but there is a big, big universe within me. And in each and every individuation of humanity that we witness, there's a universe in them. I like to say you with Y-O-U, universe. So welcome to your universe forecast for this week. So we are wrapping up Taurus, which is a fixed earth sign. And today is actually, so my father is a Taurus. He is a Taurus. Now, his birthday, we joke, we don't know if it's his 18th or the 19th, because on his birth certificate, they wrote both. So we celebrate both days. Taurus is the builder, the manifester. My father builds surfboards, and also crystal pyramids that my mother, Lupita, who's usually on these lives, I'm here a little bit early, so hi Mom, hi Dad. So this is what we call the galactic passport. Resin casted copper and gold wired wrapped energy devices, we coined them, because they channel chi or energy powered by consciousness or thought. And these puppies, well, when I work with them in the energetic healing sense, you can feel the conductivity of these devices, because, you know, these contain the minerals of the earth, which is ruled by Pluto. Pluto rules the minerals and the wealth of the earth. Pluto is presently still, and will be for the next 18 years, moving through the Aquarian's sign, the people, the sign of the people, Aquarius. Air, fixed air. Fixed means like fixed Taurus, fixed earth Taurus, fixed earth air. It means that something is so, and it is not what it is not. It is a solid rock. Taurus, think of a rock. Like, it's a rock. It's fixed earth. When you think of Aquarius, it's fixed air. Well, what is fixed air? Well, you can think of a balloon, traps the air. It is something that contains the air. What contains the air on our planet is our atmosphere. It is a stable Aquarius as our atmosphere. Our atmosphere serves everyone on this planet and every living and breathing thing. That's Aquarius. That's why it represents community, or the collective consciousness, the collective. We all breathe air, but this air is contained to this planet, and it is unique and special, like Aquarius. Pluto, moving through Aquarius, is now retrograde, and it will be retrograde until October. It is re-evaluating, re-knowing the earlier degrees of Aquarius that has already gone over. So it is refreshing our memory on the lessons that it has been teaching us over the last year. The last year is now starting with our thoughts, our collective thoughts, and then it's going to go over our collective belonging. Then it will go over, review our collective beliefs, then our collective feelings, and then what the collective loves. But it's not going back that far. But I would like for you to remember those two things, because without those foundations of what you love and what you feel, how are you going to know what you believe? And how are you going to know where you belong? And how are you going to know that your thoughts are in alignment? So as the Pluto retrograde goes over this many months, know you'll be reviewing mainly your thoughts, your belonging, and your beliefs. And if you're confused about those things, remember what you love and how you feel. With this new moon that we just had over the weekend, you might have felt a little bipolar, as you were like, yeah, let's go, but also so tired you didn't want to move, because Taurus is also represented by the bull. The bull, sometimes, they don't want to move. Fixed earth, no, not moving. So if you felt your mind a little bit overwhelmed and felt like you were short-circuiting a bit, that was because Mercury, the planet of the mind and the thoughts, or also known as Thoth, Mercury, was definitely involved, as in conjunct the sun with this last new moon. So if you were feeling a bunch of oddity over the weekend, it was because that, and Mars on May 16th was also doing some action at the final degree of Aries. What? Sitting with Mars. Final degrees, 28 to 29 are the last degrees of each sign, because we move into the next zodiac sign. It's a sign cycles of 29 degrees through each sign. Mars crossed over Chiron, which represents the teacher, the healer, the character flaw that we came into this life with, the wound or slight imperfection that makes us human, vulnerable. The collective is processing presently how they decide to feel about their bodies, Aries, about what actions they take, Aries, about what battles they choose, Aries. Mars is the ruler of Aries. Mars represents Aries, or the action, the ego, the hero, the entrepreneur. Mars went over this last point and has now entered Taurus. So all of you Tauruses will feel the fire under your heinies. And it will make you want to do instead of just moo. A little more do and less moo, because you're going to be like, all right, cool. You're going to have energy to do the things that you have set your mind to during the Uranus transit that lasted 7 years of blasting away what we thought was once fixed. And now Chatty Gemini is hosting Uranus, which rules Aquarius, and is activating this trine aspect to Pluto. So the collective, we're seeing this in the technology, in the AI, and all of that. But we're also seeing it in more people getting interested in things like astrology or consciousness or extraterrestrial things. You can see that happening in the collective as well. Now with Mercury in Gemini as well, we are experiencing new beliefs forming about these technologies that are emerging, and new debates. Saturn and Neptune are still hanging out for a while. Saturn will be in Aries for probably another 2 years or so. Saturn is restructuring our integrity around our bodies because he has moved forward and has some space now from Neptune, which is still at 3 degrees Aries, reminding us how to believe in our bodies and believe in embodying the dreams that we wish to create. Why? Because there's a minor trine that is still active between Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune is where it points. It is pointing to Neptune. Divinity in form, Aries. This Neptune transit through Aries, which lasts about 14 years, is about embodying divinity in form. Not spiritually bypassing third density, but in fact embracing it fully, getting to the higher octaves of dimensional shifts through going deeper into the body, Aries, and then manifesting through the body, Taurus, and then using our hands to make the things, Gemini. Gemini rules the hands. That's why I talk with my hands a lot, because I got Gemini in my 8th house. Got to use my hands. My hands are how I help. So from this, today is the 18th of May, and I'm presently recording this. And as Mars has entered Taurus, we simultaneously have Venus also entering the same degree, but leaving Gemini. She's paved the way for Mars. She's set everything up for him, and she is now moving in to Cancer, which is the sign of fixed water sign. Oh no, cardinal water sign, right? So cardinal means seasonal shift. Now she's in Cancer, joining jovial Jupiter. Jovial Jupiter. Jupiter, by the way, or Zeus, technically, because it would be Uranus, Saturn, and Jupiter as the hierarchy of the mythology of the kings of the sky. And so first was Uranus, and then Saturn was born. Saturn got rid of Uranus, and then in that process, Venus was born out of the sea. So she is technically Saturn's sea star. And then Jupiter was born to Saturn. So technically, she's Jupiter's auntie. Okay? So it's like, oh, auntie, you know? So Jupiter stay in at 21 degrees Cancer, hanging out, expanding on all things nurturing and feminine. So what is fun about nurturing and caretaking, says Jupiter? Let's have some fun. Venus, the auntie. Oh, nephew, what you doing in there? Huh? Jupiter's like, oh, auntie, I know. I try and help my mother. Okay, so I don't know why I'm going into pigeon, but anyways, that's what's happening. Auntie, stay there, and she's creating one container right now because she's at 0 degrees in Mars. He stay over in Taurus. He'd be like, oh, sea star, because you know, well, They're actually, a couple, but whatever. Oh, wait, wait. I catch up. Okay. He's in there. He's in Taurus, and she's in Gemini. She's in Cancer. All right? They're in an aspect called a sextile. Means that they're connecting and talking to each other. They're in communication. They're in harmony. And the moon, presently, today, has joined them. The moon is about our feelings. The moon is at 29 degrees. So each gateway from each sign is energy transition. So we're going from air to water, in the case of Gemini to Cancer. And from the case of Aries to Taurus, we're going from fire to earth. Okay? So this activity going on is mostly on one side of the sky. So if you happen to be a Leo, a Libra, a Scorpio, Capricorn, these things aren't directly like affecting you, like as in these planets are not in your sky. However, if you have planets or points in the other areas of the chart on your birth chart, then it is affecting you in those placements of your piece of pie of the sky. So nobody is really immune to transit. Sometimes the things are less than affecting and not as intense. So the signs that are most activated right now would be Aries, Aquarius, Taurus, and Gemini and Cancer. As far as your sun, moon, rising. If you don't know what your sun, moon, rising is, you can book a session with me and I will show you. I'll also tell you where you galactically came from too, because we didn't come from just this solar system. And your chart has a lot to tell us about that. So the masculine and the feminine energies as of today are in mutual reception. So they are talking to each other, which is good. We've had a lot of conflict going on in the collective. And now, over this time, over these next couple of years, you're going to see quite a shift in the imbalance to balance. And that's going to look like those of us, people who are doing the inner work, actually radiating out what we are glowing within. And what that looks like is embodying fully these vessels that we are in and treating them properly and moving through that informed. The sun will enter Gemini May 20th. We are now entering the period of time where revolution and paradigm shifts are completely, truly possible. That's not like they haven't been possible and haven't happened. And they have happened and are happening. This period of time is uniquely informed for transformational shifts in the collective. Might not look pretty or easy or be easy, but it's happening. And we might as well get curious and confirmation and have fun, enjoy the process, because that's what we came here to do, right? We came here to enjoy the human experience. So as of today, the moon moves from Gemini into the sign of Cancer, joining and expanding what Venus and Jupiter are highlighting, as in Cancer represents the mother. It is ruled by the moon. When the moon is Cancer, it is at home. Cancer moon is a very deep feeler. So if you have the moon in Cancer, then you feel deeply, and you might feel other people's feelings, and you might feel them intently, and you might feel what they are feeling, and have the thought that about their feeling, even though they're trying to mask the feeling, you're still gonna have that feeling, and you might overreact to those feelings. So having a Cancer moon, please do tell me if you do have a Cancer moon, how does that show up for you in the comments below. So our fears, or the belief, the fears of the old beliefs coming back. Even though we felt we've dissolved them, with the old beliefs where we think we've dissolved that old reality. The fear of it coming back, it's there, but don't worry, that's just fear or false evidence appearing real. Because Saturn, as it moves ahead through through Aries, and about the integrity, are these new beliefs in full integrity, might be a question that is being asked amongst yourself and your body. Okay, moving on from Wednesday the 20th. As the moon later in the week, from Thursday to Friday, moves into lovely Leo, we will get a harmonic aspect, however, so we'll be able to process these fears around what we spiritually love and decide upon. So more about our spiritual beliefs. And what is forming in the sky is a kite, or a directional shift towards how to take the right actions around our ideas, or our mind and our thoughts, and how we communicate those thoughts, as this grand fire trine creates a minor trine, which is a little aspect that points like a kite, takes off. So the thoughts and the ideas and the actions around those ideas, which are propelled by not buying into the old fear program belief systems anymore, because they no longer serve. On Saturn Day, this aspect will get a little bit of an opposition about our thoughts around how we communicate and what media is shown to us, versus our belief systems, our old belief systems. Do I really believe all that is to be true? Will come up on Friday. The structures around our body and our mind and our body. So again, body movement still always very important, but in this time, as Chiron is in the highest degrees of Aries, that really doing the healing work for our bodies is super important, and it's not to be ignored. It is part of the program. Moving in from Saturday to Sunday, the moon will move into Virgo, and then you will cross overing the south node, and the old daily habits that we used to collectively do no longer serve. There are old daily habits in the collective that are becoming obsolete because of the rise of technology and the supply and demand. So people's jobs are changing and shifting. And now we're creating new manifestations and structures on how we can work with that. And albeit intimidating, Lilith in Sagittarius, with those new systems and ways of learning in place, we still have the ability to maintain our inner integrity. That still comes back to how do we serve our bodies and embody divinity in form. Alright, well, that is that for this week. If you have any questions about your personal chart, do reach out to me and I will see when I can fit you in. Happy to be of service. I also am very grateful for all your likes, subscribes, and shares on YouTube. Aloha, my YouTube viewers. And please share this knowledge when you find it on YouTube. Please share it out if you know someone that this might serve. As I am a 6th house sun, so I am here to be of service. 6th house, 6th dimension. Service is fun. We are here to help. Anyway, I love you all. Have a happy moon day. Oh, wait. Here, you need a little zap. This one removes. Yes, just put your third eye like right here. Boop. See if that works. Now I'm gonna just put a little bit of rose quartz here. That's better. All right, from me and my galactic community, aloha.